It is past the time we agreed on, but he hasn't come yet. You have to believe me! The Match Girl financing office was right here!
I think you might be mistaken, lady. We ain't never heard of the place. Now, run along home.
Hey! In the days after Cinderella left me, I spent my time inquiring about him at various loan agencies, only to be shown the door. Strangely enough, the company that handled Cinderella's debt, Match Girl Financing, seemed to have vanished completely. I tried asking around to see if they'd moved to a new location, but no one seemed to have even heard of them. I was really hoping Mr. Suit could tell me where to find Cinderella. This is some magic. This is a magic-ish. Also, I like my room. Kaguya, have you found him? As soon as Kaguya returned home, I was eager to hear how his investigation went. But once again, he only shook his head.
The banks foreclosed on both the cafe and his parents' home. Both locked up tight as well, same as you saw earlier.
Right. That night, after Cinderella left me, I went back to the cafe to find a notice had been taped to the door, announcing the cafe's closure. Nobody knows where he is, not even Snow White or Gretel. So where could he have gone? I tried asking everyone I could think of who knew him, but none of them had any leads. It was almost as though someone had cast a vanishing spell on him. Who do I know who does magic?
Sorry, Poppet. I do wish I could be of more help.
No, that's all right. I really appreciate you doing all this legwork for me.
No problem at all. Seeing as it's all I can really offer you. Besides, you're my princess, sweetheart. I'll dash around the whole country if it'll put a smile on your face.
Kaguya, thank you.
Still, this is quite the pickle, innit? Rumor says Cinderella's dad's gone abroad. I reckon the lad may have gone with him.
Cinderella would never do that. He'd never run away.
Right you are. After all, he turned down your father's offer and chose a life of hardship instead. That's no coward. People say he's a layabout with a heart of ash, but deep down I reckon that heart's made of gold.
Yeah. There's no way he's left the country. I'll track him down sooner or later. It turned out to be later. Probably. Once again, I found myself standing outside the cafe. So what happened to Alice? Because Alice was living there. I wonder if he's got any ideas. I can't believe I'm even suggesting asking him for help, but I knew he wouldn't be here, and yet I couldn't stop myself. Deep down, my heart was convinced there was a tiny chance he would come back. Glad I can just break in. Pardon the intrusion. Fortunately for me, I'd made a spare key in secret, and tonight I was going to use it. Unsurprisingly, the interior was eerily silent and devoid of human life. It was hard to believe that the place was once bustling with customers. It was fun while it lasted, at least. Glancing around, I headed further in. All over the building, everything in the kitchen sink was marked with a sticker that read, "Seized." My chest ached. It felt like further proof that my happiness here was all an illusion. But though the ball and carriage and fancy gown were all a dream, surely the time I spent with Cinderella was still real. As soon as I set foot into his room, I caught sight of something. To me, it was something worth its weight in gold. Is this a glass slipper? There was no mistaking it. Cinderella had sculpted a glass shoe. I guess he only got one done. Cinderella? Are you here? Please, answer me! Cinderella! But no response came. Cinderella. I took off my own shoe and slipped it on to find that it was a perfect fit. For some reason, however, the slipper was missing its mate. When on earth did he find the time to make this? But just then...
Well, well. Looks like you're in a bit of trouble, eh, lady?
It's you! I whirled around to find Mr. Suit standing there. I've got you now!
I hear you've been searching all over town for me. But it's not really me you're looking for, is it?
Where's Cinderella?
And if I said I don't know?
His tone was as arrogant as ever. On the upside, however, it helped me keep my emotions in check. You won't, though. I looked him directly in the eye as I spoke.
What makes you say that?
Because there's no way you don't know the answer. And if you didn't feel like telling me, you wouldn't have come to find me in the first place. Yeah, there's no way he turned up just to say hi.
You're as unflappable as ever, it seems.
Mr. Suit shrugged his shoulders. Please, tell me where he is. If you won't give me the information for free, then just name your price.
Any price?
Yes, any price.
What if I said I want your body?
If it'll help me find Cinderella, then you can have it.
Oh. So you'll do whatever it takes, then?
He ogled me up and down. I swallowed. What was he going to ask of me?
You really are a little heroine, aren't you?
Suddenly he shifted to a more candid tone, ill-befitting of the situation at hand. What? Little heroine? Why does that sound so familiar? Ah! I have been bamboozled! So that's why Match Girl Financial or whatever is gone. Mr. Wizard, I presume?
Haven't you figured it out, little heroine?
Then it hit me. His voice, his arrogant manner of speech. Could it be? I pointed at him, mouth agape. Yes, 'tis I! This music's great.
It seems you've seen right through me. The evil loan shark was but a mask, and beneath it the heroic wizard.
In a blink, the man's black suit transformed into a wizard's garb, which was also black, so the contrast wasn't really that striking.
Hey there. Been a while since I used this form. How've you been?
Welp, so much for all that dramatic tension. Gah, I'm getting distracted. I'm fine. Would you mind if I straightened a few things out with you?
Go right ahead.
Are you the same wizard I met before?
Sure am. Aw, I'm flattered that you remember me. Put her there.
And so our reunion was commemorated with a handshake? I take it we've met more than twice.
In a sense, yes and no.
But you're the guy in charge of Match Girl financing.
Indeed.
You're the one who loaned Cinderella the money, and the same guy who told me about it.
Yes, I cast a spell upon him.
By which you mean you loaned him money?
One could say that.
In exchange for that same money plus interest?
Correct. The clock has struck 12. The spell has broken. And now he is paying the price.
So there was no magic involved, just a disguise.
Oh, there's magic. Inexplicable, illogical, fateful magic.
And when did this happen?
Why, before you ever met him, of course.
I stared back at him. I couldn't even begin to process this. That was a well done twist. I didn't see that twist coming. Okay, whatever. That answers a few of my questions at least. No wonder you seemed so familiar with Cinderella when we met you.
He didn't seem to recognize me, though.
Probably because you weren't wearing your disguise, genius. Is this a joke to you? I glared at him, but he didn't even flinch. I get the feeling you've been meddling in a bunch of other things I don't know about. Whatever. Please just tell me where he is. I let out a breath in exasperation.
Wait. You aren't going to ask me why I did all that?
Would you tell me if I did?
Nope.
Didn't think so, thus I won't bother asking. Besides, my top priority is Cinderella, not you. Oof. At this point, I don't care who you are, what your objective is, or why you've done what you've done. I just want to know where I can find Cinderella.
You really want to know?
I'm desperate.
Then what you really want is for me to cast a spell on you.
Giving me information is casting a spell?
To me, at least.
I paused for a moment. And that magic comes at a price, right?
You're very sharp.
Right. I closed my eyes. There in the darkness, I contemplated the best course of action and came to a decision. Will you ask the wizard to cast a spell on you? Sure. We'll sell our voice to the sea witch or whatever other parallel you want to make here. Let's do it. Let's make a deal. Mr. Wizard, or whoever you are, I need you to grant my wish.
And what's that?
Please, let me speak to Cinderella one more time.
Fair warning, there are limits to my magic.
I don't care. I'll do anything to achieve my ends. I'll lie, cheat, or even make miracles happen if I have to.
What will you do once you learn where he is? Didn't he abandon you once before?
No. He didn't abandon me. And now I'm going to get him back.
Oh, really? All the courage it took him to make this decision, and you're going to throw it in the trash? Bit of a jerk move, don't you think?
Is it?
I'm afraid so. Cruel and selfish to the utmost degree. You'd be going against his wishes. After all, he did it for your sake.
Because I made him feel insecure.
Yes. He said being around you makes him feel like an even bigger loser. So, do you still want me to cast my magic?
Yes, I do. I'm going to do everything in my power to oppose his wishes. If that makes me every bit as cruel and selfish as you say I am, then so be it. But the thing is, he told me he loves me. That's why I have to get him back.
And what will you do then?
I'm going to make him happy. At this, Mr. Wizard snapped his fingers.
Good. Now then, what will you give me in exchange?
I'll give you... What? Where are we and why is there a giant bird cage in this room? I have so many questions. Where the hecky hey are we? What's with all the commotion?
Isn't it obvious? The princess is holding a ball at the castle in search of her one true prince.
A ball, huh? Sounds fancy.
It seems your brothers will be attending, dressed to the nines.
Oh yeah? I'm glad to hear they're doing well for themselves.
Are you guys just like broskies? now in a room that has a giant birdcage? I'm so confused.
You've received an invitation too. Aren't you going?
Wait, what? What invitation?
It's right here. Says you've been invited by the Arisu family.
Look at me, covered in cinders. There's no way I can go. They'll just laugh in my face.
What makes you say that? You were once the heir to a great fortune, were you not?
Maybe I used to be, but not anymore.
Because your father disappeared.
Yeah. He vanished and left me with his debt.
Ooh, dick move, Dad.
In the end, I guess he never did give a shit about me.
Hard to say. And now that he's gone, you have no way of asking.
Yeah. I'll probably never see him again.
You thought he loved you, but instead he betrayed you.
I don't care that he tricked me or betrayed me or whatever. I've got nothing else left to lose.
Yes, I suppose so. You've lost everything you ever gained.
Well, not everything.
Oh yeah?
See this glass slipper? I made it for her.
What happened to its mate?
I left it behind at the cafe.
Is that your way of signaling to her that you want her to find you? If so, I'm not sure she'll figure that out.
Oh, don't worry. We're stubborn, Alice. We're like, yo, I'm finding my boy.
Who knows? Either way, it doesn't matter. Once I pay back all my debt and get to the point where I can support myself, then I'll go and give her the other shoe.
That's really sweet.
It'll probably take years, maybe even decades. I hope she'll wait for me.
How naive. There's no way she'll wait that long.
Yeah, probably not. But that's all right. I don't mind if she loves or marries someone else in the meantime.
I thought you loved her.
I do. I'm still crazy about her. That's why I want so badly for her to be happy.
How very devoted you must be. Back when we first met, I never would have seen this coming.
I know, right? I guess she must have rubbed off on me over the month we spent living together. The truth is, I'm terrified. Whenever I go out, my hands are always reaching for stuff I don't need. I managed to break the habit while she was around, because at least then I felt loved. But now that I'm alone again, I feel like I'm gonna fall off the wagon.
No surprise there. Your addiction is a mental illness that must be treated. You may have thought you cured it, but really you just temporarily changed targets.
That's why I have to stay away from her. Otherwise, I'll just let her enable me and use her as a crutch.
And so you decided to leave her of your own free will.
Exactly. I left her because I love her. I don't want to love her just because she loves me back, or because she enables me. That's not how love works. True love is unconditional. True love doesn't ask for anything in return. But I'm weak, and I needed something to cling to. Something that I could lean on in times of hardship. Something that would remind me of the vow I made to myself.
So that's why you crafted the glass slippers.
I just can't seem to let go, can I? I'm the one who broke things off, and yet here I am, hoping she won't forget me. Somewhere deep down, I do want something in return. I want her to wait for me. Pretty pathetic, isn't it?
I don't blame you. You're not some perfect holy saint. You are, however, naive. Naive like a little baby that loves candy, Or maybe your brain is made of candy, you pathetic little loser. How could one man be so passive and cynical, yet still so conceited and irresponsible? You're like a smorgasbord of awful. Ouch, dude. You want her to wait for you, but she won't wait forever. You know that, right? Well, yeah, but... You've got it backwards, Cinderella. She's going to hunt you down. After all, she is the princess of the looking-glass world, and she fell for you at first sight.
Hello, 'tis I! Hey there, Cinderella. Long time no see. How have you been?
It's you, the shady fortune teller.
I'm not a fortune teller, I'm a wizard. Well, actually, it doesn't matter.
What are you doing here?
Well, you see, Cinderella, I am here to help you go to the ball tonight.
What?
First, I'll need to borrow this little glass dove and this little glass pumpkin. Oh, and this little glass mouse.
Hey, wait! Slow down!
With the power of magic, I'll transform these into a horse, a driver, and a golden carriage. 1, 2, 3...
Wait, you turn one of those things into Kaguya of all people? Bibbidi bobbidi boo!
Cinderella!
I recognize you. You're her servant.
Here he is, the prince who stole the princess's heart. Come now, future prince. Your princess is waiting at the castle.
Wait!
See? We've got a carriage and a white horse and a driver and an attendant. Now you're ready to go.
What?
Now we need to do something about your clothes.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo! What the... How?
It doesn't matter how. I'm a wizard, remember? Your only option is to accept my magic for what it is. Now climb into the carriage, Cinderella, and go have a good time. Oh, and fair warning. At the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken and everything will be as it was before.
This is all too sudden.
Just go, Cinderella. Haven't you always dreamed of going to a castle ball to meet the princess?
Yeah, you're right.
Right then, let's be going, Cinderella.
Sure thing.
Hold it. Don't forget this, it's important to you, right?
The glass slipper. Thank you. I'll be back. Alice, kind of being a bro for a change. That's nice. And so, wearing his new fancy attire, Cinderella climbed into the golden carriage. Everything is nuts right now, but I don't even care, because I'm loving it. Their destination, the princess's castle. That's me! The cafe is our castle. Amazing. What are we doing here?
Go on in, then.
Go in? But this is... Dozens of people filled the room, decked out in all their finery. They all welcomed Cinderella warmly. Even brothers are here.
Welcome, dear brother. Welcome. More like welcome home, Cinderella.
What are you two doing here?
We work here. She told us she was going to reopen the cafe and offered to hire us back. Not like I had anything better to do sitting around at home.
Reopen the cafe? Then the princess stepped forward looking utterly resplendent. I bought the place.
Eureka.
Well, more accurately, my parents did. So now I'll need to work hard to pay back the loan. I shot him a playful wink.
Why?
Why what? Why am I here? Or why did I buy the cafe?
Both.
He stared blankly back at me, seemingly unable to process this. Before we get into that, I cleared my throat and extended a hand to him. May I have this dance? After all, I can hardly expect the guests to have a good time if the hostess herself is just standing around. The aforementioned guests were now watching our exchange with amused smiles.
Right.
He nodded and moved to take my hand, but stopped short.
Your shoes.
Evidently, he'd noticed what was going on with my footwear. You see, I was wearing the one glass slipper he had left for me, and my other foot was completely bare. Funny story, I was chasing after some guy when I busted the heel off my favorite shoes. Sarcasm intended.
Did you hurt yourself?
Just sprained my ankle.
You do that a lot, apparently.
Turns out I'm actually pretty clumsy.
I'm sorry I wasn't there to help you.
I'm not upset about it. After a long pause, Cinderella knelt down before me.
Princess, please, hold out your foot. Tonight, I've come here to ask you to wear this glass slipper. I made it just for you.
As he spoke, he held up a single shoe made of glass. What a coincidence. You see, I'm already wearing one. I lifted my skirt and showed him my feet.
Please, let me be the one to place it on you.
Very well. He took my bare foot and gently slid it into the other slipper. Now the pair is reunited. The shoes were a perfect fit. No surprise there, of course. After all, Cinderella had made them specifically for me, which meant I was the only one in the world who could wear them.
Yeah, they look great on you.
He gazed up at me passionately, and I felt my cheeks flush.
Princess, would you let me have just one dance?
He got to his feet and extended his hand. Why, gladly, Sir Prince. I took his hand, and a classical song began to play. Aww. You love to see it. They're so beautiful together. Just let them be, please. You're a great dancer.
I guess you could say that. I did promise I'd be your escort someday, remember?
Looks like you kept your promise then.
You're pretty good at this too. I thought you said you'd never gone dancing before.
I haven't. But I've been practicing my steps in secret while I waited for this day to come.
You little twerp, I swear.
If I'm a twerp, then you're a foul-mouthed punk.
Yeah, guess so.
He grinned.
Obviously, I'm still the same guy. How long have we been apart now?
1 month. In other words, precisely the same duration we spent living together.
Bingo. I'm glad you're doing well for yourself, Eureka.
The insensitive remark earned 1 stomp of my heel. Good.
Ouch! Why, you little...
If you truly care for me as much as you claim to, then I'll stomp on your foot as much as I have to. Do you realize how much I've agonized over you this past month? My voice trembled and I could scarcely get the words out. I always knew he was dense when it came to women, but I wasn't having it. After all, I'd worried myself sick fearing for his safety. And now that we were finally reunited, I felt like I might burst into tears of joy.
You agonized over me the whole time?
Obviously! He looked genuinely shocked. Ugh, he's so stupid. It's adorable, though. You're lucky I'm in love with you, buddy. Even as each song came to an end, we never pulled our hands away, not once.
Man, it feels like I'm dreaming.
Like you're under a magic spell.
Yeah, something like that.
After you disappeared, I searched everywhere for you. But your parents' house and the cafe were both repossessed and there was no trace of you anywhere. You're such a jerk. I thought of you as my soulmate and then you turned around and left me high and dry. But I never gave up hope. I kept searching, seeking you.
And then you found me.
I sure did. I heard through the grapevine that a glass crafter had taken you in as an apprentice. I'm so happy for you, Cinderella. Now you can turn your hobby into your profession.
It's nothing to celebrate. My master yells at me every day.
Wait. You're not working for Alice, are you? I swear. Are you having a hard time?
Yeah. It's stifling in there, even in the winter, and I'm always worried I'll burn myself on molten glass. I spend my days covered in ash. Literally. Besides, with my amateur skill, I can't earn a living wage. It'll take 10 years before I'm good enough, which means I'll have to train hard my whole life.
You seem happy, though.
Yeah. It's a hard life, but at least I get to do what I love.
You've made your dream come true.
It's not that dramatic, but, you know, I'd like to make some really eye-catching pieces someday. Blue, red, green, something really colorful.
Ooh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, knowing you, you'll fall in love with it. I can't promise it'll be any time soon, though.
Right. No matter the obstacle, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll make your dream come true someday, I just know it.
Thanks. So yeah, these days I'm up to my eyeballs in glass, day in and day out. I couldn't ask for more.
Right. On to the next question, I guess. So you want to know why I bought the cafe?
Yeah, I do. I mean, taking out a loan from your parents.
It wasn't a huge loan. I just have to make the cafe a success and I'll be able to pay it back just fine.
Easier said than done, Missy. We barely turned a profit last time around.
Then I'll just have to do better than you.
Huh! You haven't changed a bit.
Is that a bad thing?
You never pull any punches either.
What do you think words are for? No one is a mind reader, so someone's word is all you have to go by. That's why we profess our love. And I love you.
I love you too.
I love you more. I'm not like you. I didn't buy the cafe in pursuit of a childhood dream. Of course, I do enjoy working in customer service, and I'm not opposed to making it my life's career. You already know the answer to this, don't you? You know why I invited you here and what I'm trying to say. I did it all to set the stage for your homecoming. I looked directly into his eyes as I spoke.
I can't. I can't accept it.
He looked away. Why not?
I told you, I'm a total loser. Always have been, always will be. And if I lean on you and your family's money, I'll be an even bigger loser. There's no way life will work out that easily.
Why not? Humans are born to dream. Without dreams, life isn't worth living. So we work hard to make those dreams come true, even if it takes a miracle. Tell me, Cinderella, why is it you left me this glass slipper?
Well,
you wanted to see me again, didn't you?
Fine, you win. After I paid off my debt and established some financial stability, I was planning to send you the other one.
You wanted me to wait for you.
Yeah, I did. I wanted you to wait as long as it took. And I didn't want you to move on.
Well, look at that. Your dream's already come true. Here I am. I'm wearing the glass slippers you made me, and now we're dancing.
But
you see, your dream is my dream, too.
Your dream?
My dream is to spend my life with my beloved. And in order to make that dream come true, I searched every last corner of this country for you. Then I found you. And now I'm here to retrieve you.
retrieve me.
That's right, my sweet prince.
But when the clock strikes 12, I'll go back to my ashen rags.
I don't care.
But I lied to you.
Indeed you did. And I lied to you, too. So we're even.
But I'm a pathetic, hopeless loser. I'm a pitiful creature who tried to do right by you only to come crawling back.
And I love that side of you.
It took a lot of guts to leave you, but I did it because I loved you and wanted you to find happiness. You really gonna throw all that in the trash?
Love conquers all.
I don't want to take advantage of you.
I don't care if you do.
Being with me might make your life a lot harder. You get that, right?
That's still preferable to losing my soulmate. Cinderella, as long as we're together, we can overcome any hardship. I've been searching the whole kingdom for you, my prince. Please, won't you take my hand?
Eureka.
Just then, in the distance, the clock began to strike 12.
It's midnight.
He stopped dancing.
No, I can't. My time is up, princess. I have to go back to my rags and ash. I had a lot of fun tonight, and it was great seeing you again. Even though I know I shouldn't have.
His hand pulled away from mine. So you're just going to disappear on me again? Fine. Knock yourself out. I'll just hunt you down again as many times as I have to. The spell may be broken, but that doesn't mean you have to leave. Like I said earlier, my dream is to be with my beloved. Cinderella, I don't care how ashen your clothes may be. I love you for who you are.
Eureka, can you really still love me, now that you've seen me for who I truly am?
Of course!
I've never been one of the lucky ones. I'm a dumbass, and without my money, no one would ever give me a second glance.
That's not true!
Maybe not, but I thought it was.
He gave a self-deprecating laugh. Cinderella.
Now I finally see what it is I truly wanted. What I truly needed. I always wanted people to see the real me. Even after the clock strikes 12 and my fancy clothes turn to rags and my jewels vanish. No matter how soiled I am. I wanted them to see the real me buried beneath all that. Life isn't fair. Most of the time your dreams will never come true. So I decided I wouldn't bother dreaming at all. And then I tried to fill that void with possessions. But it was never gonna work, because it wasn't what I really wanted. My heart, my money, my life, all the color in my world had faded to an ashen gray. I had no hope. Whenever I thought about the future, I felt nothing but despair. And then you turned up. Eureka. I had so much fun with you. I was a total loser, but you loved me anyway. Deep down, I always wanted to dream. This realization's come a little too late now that I've lost everything, but still.
It's not too late. Plus, you haven't really lost everything, wouldn't you say?
Right. I may not have any cash, but I still have a dream. And I have a princess who will search the whole kingdom looking for me. I told myself life couldn't possibly work out this easily. I can try to kick the habit all I want, but it won't undo what I've done. Still, Eureka, will you help me dream again?
Of course. I'll dream with you for the rest of my life.
Eureka, I love you. Starting now, I'll never let you go. and I won't vanish on you ever again, I promise.
You better not, because next time I will stab you for what you did to me.
So, will you be my girlfriend? And someday my future bride?
Yes! The next instant we were showered in applause from the guests.
And so they lived happily ever after, I suppose. A job well done, if I do say so myself. You want to know the price she paid for her miracle? It was the dove. The very first dream created by the soon-to-be famous glass crafter Cinderella.
Ah, interesting. Once upon a time in the looking-glass world there lived a rich little boy. This boy had everything. With a big mansion, fancy clothes, and delicious food, he was the envy of the town. But that happiness did not last forever. Why? Because it was all one big pretense that could shatter at any moment. Although he appeared to live in the lap of luxury, the sad truth was his happiness was built on a mountain of debt. And on the day it all came crumbling down, his heart faded to gray. Unable to forget his life of decadence, Cinderella, as he was known, continued to squander his money. Day in and day out, he would buy things he didn't need, treat people to meals, and conduct himself with an air of superiority. But Cinderella knew this would not last forever. He could play pretend all he liked, but once his time ran out, he would be reduced to a life of poverty once more. One day, Cinderella encountered a beautiful princess. Concealing her true identity, she paid a visit to his house and ultimately started working at his cafe. Unlike him and his facade, however, she was truly wealthy. He assumed she would quickly abandon him, but instead she seemed to enjoy his presence. Before long, the two fell in love. Unable to bear the secrets they'd each kept hidden from the other, they both confessed the truth. The impoverished girl transformed into a wealthy princess, and the wealthy prince transformed into an impoverished boy grimy with ash. And even after they discovered the truth about each other, their love did not waver. But as Cinderella came to love the princess more and more, he soon realized that he was incapable of providing for her. Money had ruined his life, and yet he knew they would still need money to survive. Thus, in order to spare the princess from a lifetime of certain misery, Cinderella escaped from the princess's castle, leaving behind a single glass slipper.
Farewell, my princess.
From there, Cinderella sold off every last thing he owned. He had lost his home and all of his fancy clothes. But though he had lost most of the things he cared about, he had yet to lose everything. What was it that still remained? It was his dream. At one point he had abandoned this dream, but after a glass crafter took him in as his apprentice, he was prepared to work hard for the rest of his life to achieve it. So what was his dream, you ask? To become a full-fledged glass crafter, at which time he would go and see the princess again. But then the princess decided to hold a ball at the castle in search of her future groom, and Cinderella was invited. Unable to let go, the princess had searched the whole kingdom looking for him. But though he wanted to go to the ball and see the princess, Cinderella knew he would never be allowed in wearing his grimy rags. Just as he was ready to accept that life simply wasn't that easy, he heard a voice.
I shall make your dream come true.
Out of nowhere appeared a wizard who transformed Cinderella's glass figurines into a golden horse-drawn carriage. Then he transformed Cinderella's grimy clothes into a fancy suit and sent him on his way. When he arrived at the princess's castle, however, he could scarcely believe his eyes. The castle was in fact the very cafe the two of them had managed together. When he walked in, the princess stepped forward as though she had been expecting him. She wore a sparkling gown and a single glass slipper. As Cinderella slid the other glass slipper onto her bare foot, he said to her,
Princess, Would you let me have just one dance?
Why, gladly, Sir Prince. The two of them joined hands and the music began to play. Then they shared a lovely dance. Even as one song ended and another began, the two never pulled their hands away. But as they say, time flies when you're having fun. Before they knew it, the clock had struck 12. Soon the spell would be broken, and the fun would come to an end. Concealing his sadness, Cinderella bid farewell to the princess, but she refused to let him go. As he hesitated, she said to him, "I don't care how ashen your clothes may be. I love you for who you are." She was prepared to sacrifice everything in order to be with him. And so her love brought Cinderella back from the brink, and they lived happily ever after. For real this time? I thought at the end there's gonna be like the two doves in his hands, but no. Whoa! And that's how it ended! Wow. I like that we have glass shards falling right now. That's delightful. Whew. Wow. That was... I have a lot of feelings right now. If I'm being completely honest. So how was she able... I guess... Because it was a gift, right? I was like, how was she able to offer the wizard that glass bird? But it was a gift to her, so I mean, technically it was hers. Wow, colors. Man. I'm glad. I'm glad she was able to hunt him down and be like, look, I love that you want me to be happy and you want to be in a good position, but I would rather work from the bottom with you. Let's do it together. And she kind of like put herself in the same position as him. I can't believe his dad actually just, you know, jumped out of town and was like, didn't even say nothing to his son. Like, he was so loyal to his dad, and he was just like, well, alright son, you get to take care of my debt since you didn't take the offer and marry that girl. Just, no wonder his mom divorced. So his dad really just put all of his everything into his possessions, and once they were gone, that was just it. He didn't care about his family at all. But Cinderella moved past it. Delightful. So he went to the wizard and was like, what did he pay though? Was it just, I guess it was money? But what money? Because obviously the wish he wanted was to live, you know, a decadent life for a year. Interesting. That was so interesting. Man, I got a lot to chew on there. Oh, we have an epilogue. Delightful. I love epilogues. Once upon a time in the looking-glass world, there lived a man named Cinderella with eyes as dull as cinders. Gripped by hopelessness, his heart had faded to an ashen gray. But that's all in the past now. Aww! Ah, the shoe! Stop! Stop! Why in my Yuri feels? Why do you have to do this right in my Yuri feels? Please. Ugh. Ugh, you had to get one last stab in, didn't you, game?
I, Cinderella, take you, Eureka Arisu, to be my lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish from this day forward until death do us part.
I, Eureka Arisu, take you, Cinderella, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish from this day forward until death do us part.
With this ring I thee wed. Not that I have a ring to give you. The glass slippers are all I've got. Then again, this is just a trial run for the real wedding, so...
I don't need a ring to be happy. No one else in the world has glass slippers like these.
Well, yeah, true. But rings are supposed to represent eternity. You sure you don't want one?
It doesn't have to be a ring. If it's just supposed to symbolize our vows, then it can be anything. I love every gift I get from you, no matter what it is. Every one of them is a priceless treasure.
Well, all right.
Besides, I really love these shoes. Without them, I never would have realized that you were still holding out for me.
I guess so. They were made with all of my most desperate yearning to see you.
And then we found each other again. Does that make it destiny?
Yep, destiny. Maybe that wagtail was looking out for me.
Huh?
Do you know the story about wagtails? They're monogamous birds that mate for life, like husband and wife. A long time ago, my dad gave me a pair of glass wagtail figurines, and I loved them to death. But wagtails are also known by a different name, mate birds. Legend has it that they taught the two gods of creation what it means to be a married couple. My dad told me, these birds are bonded for life, and so you must cherish not just one, but both of them. And when you find that special someone, I want you to give them one of these wagtails. That way the two of you will always be together, he said. At the time, I did my best to take care of them, but I ended up breaking one by accident. I remember being completely inconsolable. I must have blamed myself 100 times over. After all, the other wagtail would have to live the rest of his life alone, and it was all my fault. Then right around the time I started to forget, that was when you turned up. And suddenly I thought back to those wagtails again. But no matter how badly I wish I could give you one, they were both long gone. And likewise I was fated to be alone for the rest of my life.
I knew you thought that.
But I wanted so badly to change my fate, to get a second chance. That's why I made these glass slippers instead. After all, shoes come in pairs just like wagtails.
Right. Does this mean we'll always be together?
Yep, exactly. In the end. I think the wagtails must have taught me how to make it work.
In that case, maybe you should try to sculpt another pair of wagtails.
Yeah, maybe. I doubt I could make anything as beautiful as those, but I'll give it a shot.
Just don't push yourself, okay? These days, I'm worried you might work yourself sick. You're not alone. I'll always be here for you whenever you need me.
I guess that's what it means to be husband and wife, eh?
Exactly. And you're the only one who can make my dream come true, you hear me?
Good point. As long as I have you by my side, I can overcome any obstacle life throws at me. In good times and in bad, our hearts will be as one. Eureka, close your eyes for me.
Okay.
I vow to cherish you and take good care of you, and love you for the rest of my life. Now to kiss my bride.
Aw, and they lived happily ever after. Look at the two of them, is so cute. Ah, so cute. Stop my heart. It really was just a happy ending, yay. Oh my goodness, okay, we don't need to... Oh, it changed! Ah! Oh, that's delightful. Sorry, Alice, but this is delightful. I'm very happy right now. I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled. I was worried. I'm gonna be honest. Because of all the Yuri feels and with the wizard nonsense, I was low-key worried the entire time that she was gonna get transported back to the abyss. And just like no memory of what happened. And I'm like, but it didn't happen. In this timeline, she actually stays with the guy and gets married. I love it. Oh, I'm so relieved. I was like all tense, like, oh gosh, it's gonna be a nameless thing all over again, where it's like, the beautiful proposal and love vows stuff, and then poof, she's gone. But thank goodness no. I am so happy. Well, guys, we did it. We got to the end of our first route. Thank you very much for joining me. I thoroughly enjoyed this. That was the bee's knees, really, for me. I'm quite happy. I'm gonna find it difficult for one of the other guys to beat this guy. I know this is only the first route, but like, dang, that was everything I ever love about Narcissus routes and everything. Ugh. And there's like, you know, true love, dreams coming true, the whole fairy tale thing. Like, gosh darn. How could I not love it? Anyway. Enough gushing from me. We did it. We're done. Good job, everybody. Whew. Alright, and with that means we've got some bad endings in our future, so hopefully I will see you for that, guys. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Until next time, I will see you later.